Well, hello, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Report. Beside me is my good friend Dwayne Weiss, and we're going to deliver up some more delightful chatter.
We're certainly going to try.
That's it. I'm going to start off with, if there's one thing that has twisted my underwear here this week, it is the pronouncement.
I know your face looks a little red.
Man, I'll tell you, the pronouncement by the lady that is the chairman of NPR, National Public Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Adhering to the truth might get in the way of finding common ground.
What?
Yeah, that is why NPR is not only accused, but has admitted to doing everything they could to color the news in favor of Biden and the Democrats.
Well, that's been since they've been in existence.
Yeah, but they've always denied it. They've always said, no, we are national public radio. We don't do that. We are fair and balanced. Well, guess what? This guy, or gal, or whatever it was, that ratted them out and wrote the article about it, 87 employees at NPR, 87 Democrats, no Republicans.
Oh, absolutely. Plus their salaries are out of whack.
Yep.
Their salaries are anywhere from 60 to 200 or 300%. What the industry
going rate
norm
is.
is.
Yeah.
They've always been outrageously overpaid.
And they get all kinds of government support. That's wrong, Dwayne. That is wrong as it gets.
But it's always been that way, and I don't know who's ever going to change it.
Well, I hope that Donald Trump changes it if he's elected. I would ask him to make that one of his first jobs.
He didn't for 4 years.
I know. But how do you look this statement in the eye and not do something about it?
I don't know. It's been an ongoing problem. It's going to continue an ongoing problem.
No.
I think it's part of the institution.
I got a $5 winner here on my scratch-off card.
How much did you win?
$5.
You spent 5 and got 5. That's.
Oh, so Dwayne.
That economics is a little bit strange there, isn't it?
Well, it's here's your money back.
It's like last time I went down to Plain Ridge, Monica showed me this slot machine. It's called Quick Pick. Cost me $3 a spin. I hit it. Comes up I won 20 cents. It says, congratulations, you've won. I didn't win, I just lost $2.80.
Beautiful. Well, I'll tell you, I really and truly believe the scales of justice in this country have swung over from neutral to totally 100% in favor of women. Men are a sorry lot now. And I offered this up.
We're going to be extinct a lot, I think.
Yeah, that's right. The birth rate is dropping like crazy. So I offered this up as a perfect example. So the other day, they had a new ticket come out at Joe's convenience store here in the center of town.
A scratch ticket?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, whoa. I said, give me a couple of those, Joe. And he gives them to me, and they were $20 tickets rather than $10 tickets. So I didn't bat an eyelash. I just got another 20 out of my wallet and said, this is fate. Went home, gave them to the bride, and said, hey, use some magic on these. Well, the first one she scratched was $100.
Whoa.
The second one she scratched was $25. So she said, here they are back. She says, 125 in cash. I said, well, since I bought and paid for these, don't you think it would be fair if we split them?
No, Bill. That rationale doesn't go that way.
Oh, she said, yes, of course, we'll split them. I'll take the $100 ticket and you can have the $25 ticket.
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to her.
Didn't make sense to me.
You didn't. Yeah.
What's a mother to do? It's rigged against us, I'm telling you. I don't know. I don't know what the heck world is coming to here. Well, I think today for this show, we'll start off with the would you rather questions.
Okay.
I got a couple of them in here that are pretty good. Would you rather listen to talk radio or country music for 24 straight hours?
For 24 hours?
Yeah.
Country music.
Yeah, me too. Would you rather climb a mountain or walk through a desert?
Walk through a desert.
Yeah.
I cannot understand people climbing mountains.
Oh, they're all insane.
Oh, absolutely.
These people that are driving these things into the stone.
Pitons or whatever they call them. Yeah.
And then they're hitched up to somebody else. And then
Worse yet is those free climbers.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
I don't go for that stuff.
No. And then when they get hurt or they get killed, people, oh, my God, he died.
Yeah, let's have a state funeral.
Yeah. Well, if he'd have stayed on the ground, and
That's right.
he wouldn't have died.
Exactly. And maybe played croquet or golf or something.
I always said my life is not that boring that I got to risk it daily like these guys do.
I don't understand that. I don't understand jumping out of the airplane.
I don't either.
It is. I mean, what is it? Is it the thrill that you're going to cheat death?
Yeah, I think that's what they say. That it's thrill, but it's stupid.
It's
the best you can
madness.
do is stay even.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
survive.
And you're going to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, even that little edge is going to win.
Yeah. One guy I read about that survived the free fall landed in a haystack, of all things, in a huge field. He landed in the haystack. He got some injuries,
Well, of
but he
course,
lived.
I've heard of people actually that have lived too, but they hit like into pine trees and stuff. But
Yeah.
they broke probably every bone in their body, but they did survive.
Oh, that's quite a deal, I survived. I
Yeah,
got
I survived.
26 broken bones, but
Oh my God!
ay. But walking through a desert, that doesn't sound like fun either.
That's not fun either. But
No, it's especially 133-degree heat. Ay.
that's what they've invented ATVs for.
Yeah, exactly. Would you rather meet an alien or a vampire?
Alien? You mean a foreigner or an alien from space?
I think an alien from space
Yeah, I think I'd rather meet the alien from space.
than the vampire. Because the vampire, you know what the vampire is going to do.
What his intentions are, yeah.
Would you rather meet a werewolf or a ghost?
Oh, geez, a ghost.
I'd like to meet a ghost.
I would too. Especially one that'd cooperate and talk to you.
Yeah. Would you rather own a yacht or a private jet?
Boy. I'm going to say private jet.
That means you're going to have to learn to drive it, or you're
No,
going to have
no.
to hire a full-time pilot.
I'd lease it out.
Oh, lease it?
Let somebody rent it from me.
Wow.
Well, of course, you could do that with
With the
yacht,
boat, too.
Yeah.
I guess this means if you have to keep them and use them.
Yeah.
I don't see me using
I-
either one.
I don't see me that in my future, either one of those.
No. I think we'll just say NA, doesn't apply. Live as a rancher or a farmer?
rancher.
Yeah. Probably a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah.
Farmer is a hard work.
Well, farmer today is got a different meaning than what it had. When I was growing up, farmers usually were like dairy farmers or livestock farmers.
You know.
That required. Today, a lot of them are crop farmers.
Yeah.
And everybody has specialized. The dairy has gone.
Soybeans.
Yeah,
This
well,
area
it's
is
not-
corn.
Yeah, they've all gone to raising, like corn and soybeans are the two big ones,
Yeah.
the big cash crops.
Yeah.
And you can tell when you go by the farms because the barns don't look like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
There's no cattle around. There's no animals. But the guys that went dairy, they went to these big low, look like a ranch house, but it thing is 500 feet long or 10 to 1,000 feet long, because they're milking maybe 1,000, 2,000, even 3,000 cows.
Yeah.
And they specialize in that.
These are factory dairies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Usually got a one or two 18-wheeler tanker trucks out front.
But there'll always be the small farms, don't you think?
There will be small farms, but it's almost impossible to make a living anymore as a guy with 150 acres and 18 cows. You know, that was the backbone of America for a long time.
Nice.
And they made enough to survive and to support their family and raise the family on, but can't do that anymore. It's impossible.
Well, the cost of land, too.
Yeah.
It skyrocketed. And by the way, which brings up another subject. When are we going to grind to a complete halt the sale of farmland to foreigners?
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely
Yep,
ridiculous.
Absolutely. I mean, this entire exercise of socialism in its fledgling form is murdering this country.
Yeah.
We have open borders. We have foreigners every place. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a nation of immigrants. Controlled immigrants.
Yeah.
Ones that pass muster.
About a year ago, there was I think it might have been 60 Minutes on Sunday night, showed a farming operation in California. And they raised hay, this outfit. Yeah. And they take the water out of this canal by grandfathered rights. These hay farmers could pull this water out it was owned by a Chinese firm. And the water was, a year or two ago, the water in California was not quite as critical now, but it was. During the drought. They were pulling water out at an unbelievable rate to irrigate these hay fields, processing the hay, baling it up and shipping it by big ships to China. In the meantime, the local farmer, the other guys that are around here, couldn't get enough water to take a bath in.
Yeah. We have got to get stuff like that under control.
Yep.
But this administration has got to be the weakest one on record as far as protecting America.
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous. Raise cows or raise sheep?
I don't want either one of them. I don't know anything about sheep.
They're stupid.
Oh, yeah. Well, cows aren't exactly mince
No,
either.
Well, shall we say neither?
Neither. I thought you were going to say pigs. No way.
Oh, here's a better choice for you.
Okay.
Raise chickens or turkeys?
Chickens.
Chickens?
Turkeys are one of the dumbest animals in the world.
Well, the chicken isn't exactly mincer either.
No. But at least the chickens lay eggs that you can use.
Yeah.
Turkeys, you got to wait to
Thanksgiving.
take them to market.
Yeah.
And then you don't know anymore today.
You don't.
With the avian flu, it's a real risky business.
It is. Chocolate milk or strawberry milk?
I never had strawberry milk that I know of. Chocolate, I'll stick
Yeah,
with chocolate.
you and me both. Read a great book or watch a great movie.
Book.
Yeah, me too.
Because you're entertained for so much longer.
That's right. You are. And also, a book can create a lot more detail and develop the characters properly.
Exactly.
Where TV, it depends on visuals.
I got
more
a
or
comment when we're done on the book.
Okay.
by the way.
less. Walk the Great Wall of China or walk Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall's 109 or 111 miles.
Probably the Great Wall of China because you can only do it in little pieces.
Yeah. I wasted my single life
Yeah.
drinking and carousing and racetracks and
Well, I did the same thing, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't ever label them as wasted.
but you know,
I labeled it as a highlight of my life.
I regret, especially after being in the service and being in Europe,
Yeah.
not going
Not
to
going.
England.
Yep.
And I've always been interested, fascinated with Hadrian's Wall, and always loved the idea of walking it. And as a young man, that would have been great. And I didn't do it. And now, hell, I get trouble walking across. Oh, I don't really. Thank God I still can walk. But that would have been great. Well, see the Great Pyramids or the Grand Canyon.
Well, I've seen one of them, so now I'd like to see the pyramids because I haven't. But
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's there to see, though. The exterior, I guess you can, there is some interior.
There's tourist stuff for it
Yeah.
you can get to.
They're finding new rooms in there.
Oh, yeah. They're still finding stuff.
Amazing.
But a lot of those things, I've come to the conclusion that I'm never going to see them real. And then I said, well, when you think about it, a TV special or even a nice photograph, it looks just like it.
Dwayne, I'll be willing to bet you that you could buy a CD or DVR, whatever the hell they call them nowadays, to slip into your DVD player of 2 hours on the pyramids.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And you know what? That could be the most interesting bloody thing.
Today, as far as something like visual and seeing things. Now, my son has got, his kids have, what do they call them? But it's not the brand new ones, the VR visual, the thing with a mask on it.
Yeah.
That is just, this one's 2 years old or a year old. I think they got it last year at Christmas. I have never experienced a realism experience that is just visual. You'd think you're there.
Really?
There's little speakers inside the eyeglass things.
Inside your head?
You think they are.
I get little people in there talking to me all the time.
But everything is wraparound completely.
Really?
And
360?
well, you only see 180 of it, but of course.
Obviously.
But it is so real that you can't.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice to check out the pyramids?
And the new one that came out this year is even much higher tech than the other one. But he's got stuff, the typical stuff that's to scare the hell out of you, like roller coaster rides and stuff. You got to sit. You can't stand up. You'll fall over. It's so real. You got to hang on.
Wow. Unbelievable. And it's passing you and I by.
Yeah, wouldn't do me any good because you got to sit with the computer, you got to hook it in, you got to have all the
And you got to
programs.
know what the hell you're doing.
I wouldn't even know where to turn it on.
Yeah. Now this one is very easy. Eat noodles or eat rice?
Just plain rice and plain noodles. Noodles.
Yeah, me too. I don't like rice.
I like some rice. I like basmati rice.
Oh, you like the stuff that they throw on the rice?
No, basmati, the type
Oh.
of rice.
Oh, all right.
It's got a nutty flavor to it.
Oh, really?
I don't like jasmine. We just had it the other night.
Yeah. When I like rice, well, I don't. But when it's on the plate and Susie dumps roast beef and gravy on top of it, it's okay.
I defeat the whole purpose. I like to put soy sauce, and that's so salty
Oh, really?
on it.
Now, this obviously means that we have to step back in time. Play basketball or play baseball?
Baseball.
Yeah.
I was never a basketball player. I had too short of legs.
Yeah.
I'm not a runner.
And you have to really be in good shape to
Yeah,
play
you do.
basketball
Oh, my
because you
God.
are running all the bloody time or close to it. Hardwood floors or wall-to-wall carpeting?
Always had carpet, but there is a time I think that I would mix my house. If I was building a house, I would put some hardwood floors and some carpet. But I've never, ever had hardwood floors, except when I was a kid and I didn't like them.
Do you know that I read a study put out by real estate agents on improvements you can make to your house before you sell it that give you payback? You know what number one was?
I don't know, floors?
Hardwood floors.
Hardwood floors.
Hardwood floors. They said 147%.
Yeah, that's probably true
Yeah.
because people look for that now.
And there was a second one that was, it's in the pile here someplace, we'll find it, but there's another one that's close to being break even. But for the rest, it's money losing. Finishing out the basement was a money loser.
Yeah. I know swimming pools are a negative.
Oh, big negative, yeah. We got one more here. Oh, you'll like this one, Dwayne. Eat deep dish or thin crust pizza?
Thin crust.
Yeah. Yeah. The deep, no. That's, the New York style is, I'm with you on that one.
Speaking of pizza, I had a pleasant surprise last week. We met some people that we haven't seen for a while at Plain Ridge. And they suggested we just eat lunch there. And they actually made it smaller, but they changed some of the franchisees, the people that they put wall hamburgers in. They look nice, and they put a new pizza place in there. And the pizza place there was there before. If you walk by it, it looks so greasy and so nasty. And they said the pizza's really good here. I said, okay, we'll try it. It was excellent.
Wow.
And
It is amazing where you get good meals sometimes. Do you know that the best prime rib I ever had was in an adult bar where the ladies,
I heard about those places.
yes, they're very scantily clad.
I've, of course, never been in one, but I've heard tell about them.
I had my biggest customer, and he gave me a lot of money, but he also was about 400 pounds. I said, you know, Nick, where would you like to go? Take you to the best steakhouse in town. I'll take you here. I'll take you there. Whenever I went out 4 times a year to see him. I mean, he was giving us 400K a year. Very profitable. He didn't strangle me and look for a better price every time I talked to him. He was very, very happy with the product and the service. So every time he'd say, no, let's go to the Crazy Horse. And he had a lifetime membership. Yeah. And Dave Wilson, my rep there, and me, we didn't have to pay to get in. We'd get in on his membership. And up until 5 o'clock, they would serve prime rib, or up till 6 o'clock. I forget. But all I know is Nick said, let's get an early start. The prime rib there is unbelievable. $5. You couldn't believe how good it was.
Great.
Yeah.
Now you find those jewels some places that
the best barbecue.
You don't expect them there.
Yeah. Best barbecue I ever had was Good and Company in Houston. And it was in the Galleria section. It was down an alley. And then you had to take a left. So you couldn't see it from the sidewalk. You just had to know it was in there. And you'd go in, and you'd go like cafeteria style. You'd go through the line. When you got to the end, you'd have a tray and a couple of beers on it, and you'd walk outside to picnic tables. That's the best bloody barbecue you'd ever want to have.
Yep.
And it's almost impossible to find.
Yeah, these places survive and do well, but they don't. I don't know. Sometimes I don't think the owners sometimes want to go huge, and sometimes when they do, they fail.
There's 4 Good and Companies in Houston now. I happened to be there, and I said to the guy I was with, he said, "What do you want to eat tonight?" And I said, Good and Company will be fine. He said, "Okay, we'll try the new one up on, it was up by the northern side of Houston." Wasn't anything like the other one. No, I was disappointed. Well, anyway, I got a notepad. And on the bottom of the notepad, each notepad, there was a different saying.
I've seen those.
From founding fathers.
Okay.
There's 5 of them. These are just, I don't know. These are smart. Thomas Jefferson, if we had a guard against ignorance and remain free, it is the responsibility of every American to be informed. Buy off on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is it possible that we could have a test whereby if you couldn't identify the issues or didn't care or whatever, you didn't get the right to vote?
Could we ever do that?
Yeah.
No. But
do you think...
Would I be sworn to that? Yes.
Do you think 60% of the people would even care? They wouldn't even take the test.
No, they don't. Well, they don't vote anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make any difference to them.
So, I do know some people that they're not even on foot or horseback. They don't know where the hell they are.
There's so many of those out there.
But yet they go vote. And, and they're, what do you know about this guy, Bill? Yeah. It seems to me that is very important. Judge Washington, truth will ultimately prevail where pains is taken to bring it to light. In other words, truth is not obvious. It's got to be sought out.
No, it's not obvious.
Yeah. It's got to be dug out. Benjamin Bush. I don't don't even know who the heck he is.
He must have been somebody.
Yeah. Where there is no law, there is no liberty.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he was going to say chaos, but
And guess what? That's what's happening right now in this country.
yep.
That is a crisis in this country. Alexander Hamilton, if it be asked, what is the most sacred duty and the greatest source of our security in a republic? The answer would be an inviolable respect for the Constitution and laws.
We're losing that too.
We are. We have an administration in Washington that is just making it up as they go along.
Yeah.
And there's no one in the Attorney General's office that is saying, hey, wait a minute, what the hell are you doing? But they're all bought and paid for by the administration.
And plus, it started about, sometime when the Biden administration, not Biden, Obama.
Yes, it did.
And then it was multiplied or intensified with Trump. And now this is what we got today.
Unbelievable.
Trump just, I'm above the law. I don't have to do, I can do anything I damn well please. Now Biden he doesn't even know what he can or can't do. So it's turning out to chaos.
Yep. Now, the last one I have here, Sam Adams. No people will tamely surrender their liberties, nor can any be easily subdued, when knowledge is diffused and virtue is preserved. What's going to happen as we go downstream and more of our liberties are eroded away? And the gun grabbers and the lawmakers that take away our rights become more onerous. Unfortunately, I know you have talked about a possibility of a civil war in this country.
I can see it.
I can see it too. I can see it. And it will be the loss of law and order that will be one of the prime shakers and movers of this. When we are allowed, now, we have hate laws in this country, hate speech. Are any of the rioters or demonstrators on college campuses being arrested and prosecuted for it?
Not very many.
Yeah. And what's happening? The colleges are saying, well, they have freedom of speech. Like death to Jews. Kill them all.
Yeah. It's hard to explain. Colleges and universities got to a point where liberal speech or liberal think became the way. If common sense did here, the radical went over here. And the universities at first encouraged thinking over here because it expanded your realm of existence and your how you thought and rationalized. But it got out of hand. It got where the radical part became the norm. The norm became extinct. And that's what we got today. Now they're trying to yank it back in towards the center again where it makes some sense. But some of these institutions are so far off to the left or right, mostly left,
do you know
that you can't hardly bring them back.
Do you know I would like to be president for about 15 minutes? Because I'll tell you what I would do. is I would get a hold of all the colleges that are having the riots and they're not doing anything about it. And I would say, I'll give you 1 day to clean it up, or every single nickel of federal money you get is gone. I'm stopping it, dead in its tracks.
Well, I thought
I
you
think
meant,
that would cure things real quick.
yeah, it would.
Because those people, money
Oh, absolutely.
is
Absolutely.
their god. It
You
is-
could see that years ago already, when universities would, if federal funds or federal education funds that students could get went up to 10%, tuition went up 10%.
exactly.
Whatever they got, they raised, and they were just had their hands out waiting for that extra money.
And you know what, Dwayne? To my earlier point on NPR, 87 Democrats, no Republicans. And I forget which college it was. Shame on me. I don't know whether it was Rutgers or the University of Pennsylvania. 123 Democrats, 2 Republicans among the professors. When you have that, now, you cannot give a balanced education. You can't even have balance in the classroom. Now, Elizabeth Warren has said to her students, if everyone in my class is going to get an A, if you disagree with me, you're going to get a B. And a B at Harvard is a kiss of death.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Harvard gives out straight A's to everybody.
Grade pollution that's been.
Yeah. And for her to say that, you can't disagree with me, is everything that is wrong with politicians today. And by the way, universities and colleges are a wonderful idea. They bring kids in, kids that have got nothing but oatmeal mush in their heads, and they work with them, and they get them to exercise their brain. They get them to think, but they should not be molding the opinions.
That's the problem. They're not expanding their thought process. They're molding them into a certain shape or form to fit their own philosophies.
Robots.
Yeah.
That's what they're building. And then the kids get out. It's the old saying, you know, in your 20s, you're a liberal. In your 30s, you're wondering. And in your 40s or 50s, if you've got a brain, you're a conservative. It's got to be both. You want their thinking machine up here to develop, not be twisted around some protocol that they happen to be teaching.
I don't like the fact that they politicize higher education, with exceptions. If you're going into a study that explores different thought, you know, whether you be whatever the major is, but you're the base majors. I don't care if it's English, history, one of the humanities, or one of the STEM courses. Your political affiliations and your political ideas should be left the hell out of it. There's
Exactly.
no reason that an engineering student should be politicized one way or another. They're there to learn engineering. They're learning their biology, physics, math, whatever it is, not somebody's political idea.
They want, if they take the engineering course, it is because that is what they want to be when they grow
Exactly.
up. And they are getting educated in all the nuances of being an engineer.
A good case in point of that today is to look at the IT people, the electronic engineers, the computer people. Most of them are geniuses. I mean, this is a really complex, difficult study, science. But they come out of there with these ideas, these political ideas, wackos, some of them.
Yeah.
That should not have been in part of that education at all.
Do you know that old saying about this fine line between a genius and a raving maniac?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes they're one and the same.
Boy, I met some brilliant people in my life and had conversations with them, only to find out they were completely insane.
Oh, yeah.
Case in point, he's dead now, but I'm not going to use his name. But a brilliant engineer. We just designed and developed a whole new line of control valves at Foxborough. Our own. We used to buy and resell other people's.
Of course.
We developed the V1 line. And this guy was one of the lead designers. In fact, he was the number 2 guy. He's the guy that designed it sat in his office and looked at his secretary all day. This guy was the one that he'd hand him the blueprints and say, now go build this. So anyway, I was walking up to cash my check one Thursday, and he fell in beside me. There was a mass migration on Thursdays up to the Foxborough National Bank. That was the bank the Foxborough company owned. And so he fell in beside me, and he said, "Hello, Bill." I said, "Hello, Joe. How are you?" "Good." "You're not wearing a hat." I said, No, I'm not, Joe." "Why aren't you wearing a hat?" I said, "Well, Joe, summertime and it's hot. Don't really think I need a hat." "You're a goddamn fool." I said, "Yeah, I'll buy off on that. Yep." I just, out of curiosity, how does that relate to my hat? He said, "If you had a half a brain, you'd wear a hat like I wear." And he had an Irish scally cap on.
Yeah. Okay.
Takes it off, shows it to me and puts it right back on. He had tinfoil on the inside.
Well, of course.
And he said to me, "There, you see that?"
Yeah.
He said, "Don't you understand? They are bombarding us with rays from outer space. Why can't you understand that?"
Tinfoil hat theory.
I said, "I guess I never thought about it, Joe, but thanks for tipping me off."
Yeah, I'm going to get a roll of aluminum foil on the way home.
I didn't say that, but I said, "Thanks for tipping me off." And he said, "You're still a goddamn fool." And with that, he trotted off.
Yeah, but he had
Brilliant.
brilliant on one side and completely wacko on the other side.
Screaming knucklehead on the other.
Yep.
And also, Joe, if this pen ran out of ink right here, and Joe was sitting beside me, he'd pick it up. He said, "I can tell you what's wrong with it." I said, "What?" "Probably designed by a Jew."
Oh, yeah, these.
No matter what the problem in the world would be, he would relate it right back to Jewish people.
Yeah, there are people like that.
Oh, talk about Hader. I mean, he was in Hader's Hall of Fame before he hit 30. I mean, and then he'd say something like, "You need to go talk to so-and-so." "Oh, never mind. He's useless Jew. Go ask so-and-so." I mean, unbelievable, man. And another brilliant man that I knew, a nice guy, same thing.
Yeah.
Totally irrational. And these guys were all, oh, I was just in awe of their intellects. I mean, they just knew stuff that was just incredible.
I think, and this is one of my crackpot theories, though, and that when you become a genius in one area, you sacrifice in the other areas because your brain channels these thoughts or channels these ideas. You're only connecting the brain cells to what you're really smart at. The rest of them are all wacko, like a fireworks going off over here. There's no rhyme, no reason to it. And I know people that were absolutely brilliant in math, but so damn dumb they couldn't hardly get dressed in the morning.
Couldn't put their shoes on.
But my God, math, because all the synapses in their brains, all their cells were all connected to math.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Some of the people I met in life, I've got a list of them at home, by the way. Just someday I was going to write an article about some people I've met. It was tough because if someone knew me and worked in the same field I did, they may be able to figure out who it was, and I don't want that to happen. I can't do that, but God, I'll tell you, madness. Ford cut $5,500 off the price of the F-150 Lightning all-electric pickup truck.
No, well, they're not moving.
Sales are down.
Yep.
Is this a case where the American public is going to stall this move to all-electric vehicles?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, if you don't sell them, you're not going to get...
Yeah. What I'm concerned about is if Biden gets a second term, they will mandate the fact that piston engine cars are going to be declared obsolete in 3 years, and they're all going to be off the road.
I can't see. I don't.
Well, that's a short time
because
frame, but I can see them doing it in like 5 or 6 years or something like that.
I think the economy would go right to hell.
Yeah, oh, I think so
We'd
too, and
right
I
in
don't
the
think
hopper.
that was going to bother them.
Oh, I do.
They got sunglasses on that all they can see is electric vehicles and saving the climate, and you're going to take them and like them. We're going to shove them down your throat whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I don't see. I'm not worried about that. I don't see that really happening. I see where there's pressure on manufacturing to do it, but if it's not selling and the consumer's not buying it,
well, then the government, my other fear, is they are going to start hanging all kinds of government-paid discounts for you to buy the electrics.
then maybe the electric would be a good deal.
But if the taxpayers have got to invest, then the only way it's going to be good for you is if you go buy an electric car.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
because you don't like electric cars.
I don't like the idea behind the electric truck is what really drives me crazy. 70 miles is the best they can do on a charge.
That's ridiculous.
And a 10-hour charge.
Yeah.
Wow. Boy, that's going to take care of freight rates,
But
huh?
see, what if they came up with a battery technology, like supposedly Toyota's, was it Toyota or Samsung? One of them was close to a breakthrough. It doesn't use lithium, and it's something that's different that
I think that's Toyota.
yeah, they're real kind of hush about it.
Well,
because-
they're working on it.
yeah. If, say, their breakthrough comes through, where, half an hour charge and you get 1,000 miles. Why not?
If that can happen.
If that happened, yeah.
then that's a whole new ballgame. But
But it won't happen unless there's demand for that resource to do it.
yeah, I don't know about that because Peterbilt has been working on electrics all along. They're further ahead than everybody else on electrics. They haven't figured out any breakthrough yet.
No, the technology is not there yet.
And it's very interesting. Peterbilt got a vehicle. They're, I forget the model number, but it's the one that costs
Big bucks.
$182,000.
Yeah.
It's a deluxe model. And they ran it nonstop between two Texas cities. That it was just almost relatively completely flat.
Yeah, right.
And the best they were able to do was like 7.1 miles per gallon. Well, if you've got 300 gallons of fuel on, what's that figure out to? 2,100 miles. Okay? By the way, that's interesting too. Do you know why they have two tanks on the big trucks?
To hold the fuel. No, why?
Balance.
Balance it?
If you have this huge weight of 150 gallons over
okay.
here, you got to have
That makes
150 gallons over there. Yeah. Plus the fact that they go twice as far. But balance is what forced it. But so that's kind of the state of the art with Peterbilt.
Yeah.
By the way, this was a loaded trailer that they were hauling. So is the electrics. Right now, it's 70 miles before they crap out. And it's a 10-hour charge on the battery. It just, it can't happen. It can't happen. And by trying to force manufacturers to build electric trucks before the technology is ready.
See, but you can't put the cart before the horse. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. And not only that, but you can't tell Peterbilt or Freightliner or Western Star, you better develop an electric truck and it better be viable. Well, they're going to pour millions of dollars into batteries where they build heavy-duty trucks, not batteries. They'd have to hire all kinds of different people. If this is the way everybody wants it, would seem to me that we're missing the boat here by not having a Marshall Plan, where the government it's one of the few times where I'm going to say this, where the government grabs the problem and says, Peterbilt, Mack, GM, come on, you're all in it together. We're going to work this thing through. The government's going to pay for it, and we are going to hump this baby, and we're going to develop real batteries. If we don't do that, if we leave it to Toyota, or if we leave it to a Suzuki, or we leave it to somebody else.
You're duplicating efforts so many times.
Yeah, and we got these guys that may be way off the path and pursuing something that these guys know won't work.
Yep.
And that's madness.
That's capitalism too.
It is. Well, it is. And it's the best bloody system we have. But it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Got a couple of these I'll just run at you real quick. Harry S. Truman said...
Buck stops here.
I'm sorry?
The buck stops here.
My choice early in life was to either be a piano player in a whorehouse or a politician. And to tell the truth, there's hardly any difference.
That's right. I liked his
yeah.
the stuff he used to.
And his one from JFK. He was elected as a congressman in 1946. If you don't want to work for a living, this is as good a job as any.
That's right.
Um,
I had a friend of mine who was a college professor. He used to call it the lazy man's dream.
yeah, yeah. Barry Goldwater, who was my hero, I loved him. If everybody in this town connected with politics had to leave town because of chasing women and drinking, you'd have no government.
That's right.
And here's the winner, though.
Okay.
Bob Dole. At a gathering of ex-presidents, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, and Richard Nixon, he commented, "There they are. See no evil, hear no evil, and evil." Meaning Nixon.
Yeah. That was very clever.
Bob Dole would have made, I think, a good president.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, he went through hell being rehabilitated after World War II.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he spent literally years, I believe, in Army hospitals.
Yeah, he
VA
did.
hospitals.
He had a tough go.
Yeah. He was a straight shooter. I liked him. Well, there's a Senator Kennedy from Louisiana
there is.
now in the Congress. He said the other day, he said, Biden needs to get himself on Amazon and buy a spine.
He's got that southern
Yeah.
drawl to him, too.
The poor are crazy. The rich are referred to as eccentric.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Shoot. Well, okay. I think that our star director
He's shaking his head, yes.
has given us the old take a break deal.
That's right.
So, folks, hang on, and we'll be right back.